Hi Ingrid, really great work submitting your first essays. It's really good to see, and now you're on the journey to improving your writing, which is great. Let's have a look at what you've got. So your first question was, doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. To what extent do you agree? Use reasons and specific examples to explain your answer. And you've got in brackets there that this is an opinion essay. Well done. Good. So your first part at the top of the screen here, I believe, is your plan for your part 1 and part 2. Which is good. It's always good to have a plan, especially for writing in an exam, because it gives you an idea of where your essay is going, and if you get lost at any point, or if you're struggling to think what's coming next, you can always refer back to your plan. What I would say is that your plan doesn't always have to be this detailed if you don't have enough time for that, because of course the time limit is very short. It could be that you put in keywords to outline what your argument is going to be in your plan, so it doesn't have to be a very detailed plan within the time limit. Okay, so then your essay starts down here. You've put in titles here, so introduction, part 1, part 2, conclusion. These can be really helpful when you first start to write the essays, because they show you your breakdown and make sure that you have got a good structure going. What I would say is, if you use these when writing, to take them out when you've finished writing. Okay, and then to have it as one continuous piece of writing. Alright, so introduction. In today's modern world, the ways training a child's abilities causes controversies among societies. I personally believe that being active is more advantageous than reading to develop children's skills and creativity. This essay will analyse both views and use examples from studies to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, well done. So you've done the key things in your introduction here, which is good. In today's modern world, okay, so methods instead of ways. Methods of developing a child's abilities causes a lot of debate, I would say, instead of controversies. A lot of debate in society. And then this next part is good. So I personally believe that being active is more advantageous than reading. In fact, instead of advantageous, we might say being active is more productive than reading in developing children's skills and creativity. This essay will analyse both views and use examples from studies to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Well done. Good. Yeah, so a really nice sentence at the end of your introduction there. This one, particularly good. Okay, let's go on to your part 1 then. So we've got a mixture of 2 different phrases here, either on the one hand or firstly. Okay, it is undeniable that reading brings huge benefits to one's personal growth. I would take out ones here, that reading brings huge benefits to personal growth. Nevertheless, playing electronic games can develop skills that would be impossible just by reading. This is because when a child plays on games consoles, they develop active skills and spatial awareness. Good, well done, well explained. For example, recent studies by Harvard showed that kids spending 2 hours a week on electronic devices, such as a PlayStation, outperform, so because it's plural, we'll outperform with no S, their counterparts by 20% in psychometric tests. Good, well done. Therefore, it is clear that games consoles bring opportunities to children in areas that are often neglected by reading. Okay, so here, be a little bit more specific by bring opportunities. Okay, so it could be that you say, it is clear that games consoles encourage development of areas that are neglected by reading. Okay, so slightly change that phrasing there to explain what you mean by opportunities. But yeah, a good paragraph there, very well structured. You started by stating your points, you've given an example, and you've rounded off as well, so really well done. Secondly, being passive for a long period of time when reading can lead to a sedentary lifestyle. Good, well done. In contrast, activities, lowercase a, like sports, can train, I would take out ones, can train cognitive and physical abilities by including competitions. Okay, for instance, according to the British Sports Council, people who play sports like football show a significantly higher ability in their hands and in their coordination, I would say, instead of hands and feet coordination. So higher, I would say a higher level of coordination. As a result, it is evident that staying active creates a better chance for children to show to full potentials. Okay, so staying active creates a better chance for children to reach their full potential. Okay, conclusion. All in all, from the arguments and examples given, good, I firmly agree that participating actively in activities brings benefits to children that cannot be, I would say, provided by reading. In the future, the need for reading will only decline as technology becomes more popular, I would say, okay, or more prevalent. But yes, very well done. This is a particularly good first piece of writing. It's well planned, it's well structured, just a couple of bits of phrasing, but like we said, these are your first essays, that would be expected. But yes, a really strong piece, and with some improvements, your writing is going to get even better, so really well done. Let's have a look at your other piece now. So this one is along the same lines, it's kind of similar themes in both of these. This one is, some people think that schools have to be more entertaining, while others think that their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion. So again, you've got your plan here, which is great. So in this one, I noticed that you've done your plan a little bit shorter, which is good. You've used more keywords rather than full sentences, which is a good skill to be developing at this point. Your essay itself, again, you've got the titles in there. Those are great for helping when you're writing and structuring your essay, but in future, take those ones out so that it's a continuous piece of writing. So in today's modern world, the nature of teaching is a contentious issue among both Western and Eastern countries. Okay, good. Well done. Good. I believe that there should be a combination of playing and learning in school to have a higher quality of teaching. This essay will analyse both sides and use examples from research by reliable organisations to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Well done. Fantastic. Okay. I would say for this part, both Western and Eastern countries, I would say the nature of teaching is a contentious issue, I would say, in all countries, or perhaps around the world, just to reduce your word count ever so slightly, okay, and make it slightly more fluent. But yes, a really good introduction there, well done. Like the last one, it's very clear, and it's very to the point, which is what we want, so well done. On the first hand, so like last time, we either have on the one hand or we have firstly. Okay, so one or the other. So on the one hand, some believe that institutions should be more entertaining in nature. This is mainly because students can thus have an enjoyable school life and subsequently have more incentive to learn. Okay, so I would say this is because it encourages students to enjoy school life and subsequently have more incentive, no S, to learn. To illustrate this, a study was carried out by Harvard showing that children who have more enjoyable school lives are more encouraged to go to school and more eager to learn new things. I would say possibly are happier to go to school and more eager to learn new things, as well as having better social lives. Therefore, although this view is against the tradition, it is undeniable that it improves one's attitude towards school. Okay, good. So you're saying here that although these activities are not traditional, they are improving the amount that students want to go to school. So that's good in their attitude. Okay, I would take out ones there and use students instead. Okay, but there's that one. All right then. So part 2. On the other hand, good. Others argue that schools should focus on educating students. This is due to the fact that the existence of schools is to cultivate the next generation with qualities such as integrity, politeness, honesty, etc., and improve the future society, which can only be achieved through education. Okay, so this sentence is slightly long with the list in the middle. I would say this is due to the fact that the purpose of schools is to cultivate the next generation, or to equip here, equip, E-Q-U-I-P, equip the next generation with qualities such as integrity, politeness and honesty, and improve the future society. Okay, I would take out this last part, which can only be achieved through education, because you've already said it's through schools and education. For instance, a recent study by the Education Council in Hong Kong, I would say the Education Council would need capital letters there, in Hong Kong, indicated that institutions paying more attention to studying. Okay, so paying more attention to studying have graduates contributing to the society to a larger extent, and they are highly praised by employers due to their personalities. Consequently, it is evident that education is crucial in schools. Okay, good. Now, this paragraph before is particularly clear. This one, you've got some really good points, but it's not quite as clear as the one before. So I would say possibly that that institutions paying more attention to studying have graduates who contribute highly to society and are praised by employers. I would say probably for their intelligence, because that seems to be what we're getting at here. Consequently, it is evident that education is crucial in schools. This last sentence needs a little bit more development. So how does this paragraph show that education is crucial in schools? Okay, so for example, it is evident that education is crucial in schools because it creates well-rounded individuals who are a benefit to society, for example. Okay. And here, I think what we're talking about is more traditional education rather than entertaining education. Okay. Conclusion. All in all, it is beneficial to focusing on having fun and solely studying in schools. So it is more beneficial to focus on having fun rather than solely studying at school. Yet, there should be a balance between the two methods, perhaps, in order to make the most of them, instead of make to maximum, to make the most of them. In the future, they will continue to have more methods of teaching in hope that they will improve our society. Okay, so because it is the future, we don't know what's going to happen. So normally we would use something like I predict. There will continue to be more methods of teaching in the hope that these methods will improve society. Okay. Just because we can't state categorically what will happen in the future, so it's normally our opinion or prediction of what will happen. But yes, again, a really good piece of writing. Some areas that we can tweak and a couple of bits of vocabulary we can change, but overall it's well structured, well argued. You've got in some really good examples there rather than examples that are general. You've got very specific ones and a nice conclusion as well. So fantastic work, really good.